Yo, what's going on, everybody? Ace and McMillian here from the Gurren Otaku Council podcast, back for another week with episode 49. But today we actually got something special for you. So today we're going to be doing a mid-season review of Demon Slayer season 3, as well as we're going to be doing a tier list of Demon Slayer characters, but only season 1 through 3. But of course, it's not going to include everybody as well, though. But of course, before we get into all that, if you'd like to join me and my friend McMillian as we discuss all things anime and sometimes manga, then please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure to follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council. With that being said, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. All right, everybody, welcome back. How you doing today, McMillian?
I am doing good. Ready to see if people agree with our opinions or not on these rankings. But yeah,
correct. Well, all right, everybody. Of course, as always, we're going to get starters off with some council announcements, and we just want to let everybody know that our Suletta Mercury episode, aka our Witcher Mercury season 2 mid-season review, is now available now on your favorite audio platform as well as YouTube, so definitely go and check that out. And then once again, we just want to remind everybody that this episode we will also be doing a tier list towards the end of the episode. That'll be in the later half of the episode where we do the tier list part. But yeah. And moving on to our next agenda topic, everybody's favorite time. It's time for GLC News, your weekly source for the latest anime news. So let's get into it. All right, everybody. We got not a lot of news today, but we got a few stuff to go through. So it's starting off, number one, Mall recently got hacked, everybody. They had to shut the site down. Somebody went in and changed like all the names of all the anime. And so Mall is completely shut down as of right. I checked it yesterday; it was still shut down. I haven't checked it this morning. Okay, so yes, as of right now, at the time of this recording, Mall is actually still down, and you never really know how much you need it until it goes down.
Yeah, I just find it so funny that someone took the time and was like, you know what we need to hack a manga, anime listing site. Not even like where you can watch it, but just where you could just find the names and times of releases. That's some petty shit.
You never know you need it until it's gone. Oh man, but also moving on to our next topic. Actually, since we just recently talked about slime here, we got some more slime news. A new OVA for that time it got reincarnated as a slime just got announced. They call it Coleus Dream, I believe that's how you pronounce that. So. And that is set to sometime release in the fall of this year. If I'm not mistaken, they said it was 3 episodes that's going to be releasing with that. So I think kind of similar to how they did the OVAs between season 1 and season 2. So probably something a little bit similar going on there.
Yep, should help the time between seasons fill in the gap just a bit. After that, we have some very interesting manga news. I know I get to talk about manga for a short time on this thing. Recently, by the time of this recording, it happened just a couple of days ago, but you're probably, from you guys watching it, it's been a week. Kodansha was hyping up their manga reading app. Kodansha, for those that don't know, Kodansha is like, I believe, the second biggest publisher for manga titles. And they decided they're gonna release an app so you can officially read all the chapters from your favorite titles that they have, but it's gonna be by point system. The day before their app releases, Viz Media, the largest owner of manga publishing, you will know that they're responsible for Shonen Jump, decided to say hold my beer and released their own manga reading app besides the Shonen Jump app there, where you can read basically any of their titles, whether they be shonen. I think their shonen stuff is going to stay on Shonen Jump, but the rest of their titles that don't fall in the shonen category, you can find there, and you only have to pay for a subscription price, $2 a month. While Kodansha, you have to basically pay for damn near every chapter that you read. Petty, but you got the business angle is insanely good. I can't argue with it.
Somebody must have leaked that to Viz, and they just been waiting for them to drop it. They just been waiting for them to drop it. And as soon as Viz got to look, they said, "Oh, they finally dropped it. All right, bet, release it."
I mean, it's
release it.
I mean, they didn't technically have to wait for it to get leaked. They just was like, because Kodansha had already announced they were coming out with
I'm
the
just
manga
saying, but that's petty to drop yours on the same day somebody else dropped theirs.
24 hours before theirs comes out, they're like, here you go, here's ours, and and guess what, it's subscription based, you don't gotta worry about it.
Like, that's nothing but a strategic business move
definitely
right
definitely that was it was done. There's no doubt in my mind that was done just to undercut. I'm just saying there's some funny news, but for all the manga readers out there, if you're looking for a place now to potentially read stuff without having to pirate it and stuff like that, there are now apps, but the Kodansha app is probably not the best due to how they run it. But there are already reports coming in that they've heard people's complaints and that they're considering changing it up. So just stay tuned, basically.
Okay. And then for our last piece of news we got here for today is right now this is just a rumor, just because I didn't find anything from any official sources about this, but it seems that we might be getting some more information on the Burn the Witch anime, which is another another show / manga by the creator of Bleach, Tite Kubo. So yeah, maybe you may have not have known it, but it's another manga / anime called Burn the Witch, set in the same Bleach universe. I haven't checked it out yet, but McMillian has, so maybe he can tell you a little bit more about it. But once again, rumors right now that we might be getting some more information on the anime on May 28th.
Yeah, it's just to give some quick background. Basically, if you've watched Bleach, this should Burn the Witch is basically like that, but instead of Soul Reapers and Hollows, you have witches and mythical creatures that you heard about in Victorian legend, dragons, different type of monsters and stuff like that. And I forget what they call their little group. It's not like the Soul Society, it's something else. But basically, it focuses on two witches who, in their adventures, basically, and how they deal with the mythological creatures that have come to terrorize England. So
Okay. Well, all right. That was all the news we have for you guys today. Let us know down below in the comments what was your favorite piece of news here. And now, moving on to our next item on the agenda for today, our Demon Slayer Season 3 mid-season review. And I don't think we talked about Demon Slayer. Actually, no, we haven't talked about Season 3 Demon Slayer just yet. But besides we had the World Tour premiere for Episode 1. But we haven't talked about it since it first started airing.
Well, we did in one episode, I can't remember which one, we did have a small, you asked me my opinion on CGI.
A small little discussion. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, because it was a whole bunch of discourse going on online about the CGI and stuff like that. And I'm gonna reiterate it again. There is nothing wrong with the CGI in Demon Slayer. You got a problem with it.
I guess we could start.
I don't know. You just got a problem with yourself. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I guess we could start there, if anything. As far as CGI is concerned, I don't think it's wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Also, especially because the whole thing with Gyoko, Upper Moon 5's whole setup is that those things are supposed to look otherworldly, painted, they were created from his imagination or something like that. So I think them being CGI kind of fits the theme that they're supposed to be out of this world type of creatures. So I mean, they don't look bad. They're a little glossy, but I don't think that detracts from anything that the anime is trying to do. They move fluidly. There's no general issue. They're good quality. Is it a little jarring because it's different, because it's a different art style? I guess you could say that, but I feel like every show nowadays has a little bit of that thing. And if that's your distaste for CGI, I don't want to say you're not wrong for having it. That's completely fine. But I'd be hard pressed to say it's bad CGI. We've seen a ton of bad CGI. I don't think this shit.
A ton of.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think this shit comes anywhere close to bad.
Oh man, but no. We also got some Ace theories here. One that was already confirmed with my boy Tanjiro getting a power up this season.
Yep.
We talked about that once again during that discussion as well. But yeah, Tanjiro getting a power boost this season. Can't believe it ain't happened yet, but I'm just waiting on it. We're still waiting on Hantengu. Hantengu. No, not Hantengu. His swordsmith's name.
It does start with an H. I forget it as well. Buff crazy guy. That's
yeah. we waiting for him to finish polishing off the blades and everything, and then one way or another, he'll get her to Tanjiro.
Well, I mean, if you technically consider what Nezuko did in the most recent episode upgrade, he technically got one.
And see, I'm glad you brought that up because that leads into my next theory right here. And I know we talked about this offline, and I told you I wanted either a yes or no answer. And I'm really trying to still think if I want that yes or no. You know what? Yes, I still want that yes or no answer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, get ready.
Okay, so as you just mentioned, that one scene right there when Nezuko was, getting her blood on Tanjiro's sword or whatever to, make it flame up and things of that nature. And then after that, we see him start the assault on the Upper Moon 4, and he start having a flashbacks like, oh, I see the Sun Swordsmith, whatever his name is. I think his name is
Yoruichi.
Yoruichi, yeah. He sees him inside of Tanjiro. I see that swordsman inside of Tanjiro or whatnot. Is Nezuko seeing these same visions?
Or
is Nezuko seeing these same memories? Because why else would she think to put her blood on his sword? And
you know what? I actually, this is one I actually don't know and cannot answer because technically within.
Okay, so it never got confirmed.
There was no confirmation. But that's a very interesting point and thought because that was as I just said, it was never addressed, but. That would make a lot of sense of why she attempted that, though. If she could, I wouldn't doubt that she could, because technically, one of the Hantengu said is like these are I'm getting memories from Muzan's blood.
From Muzan, yeah,
right.
Correct.
So and she became a demon from Muzan. So I mean, it's not
exactly.
It's not that far fetched to say, oh, hey, put two and two together. This is what you get.
I was like, is she really seeing these same memories? Because there's no, she just wouldn't think of that just to do it. You know what I mean? She has to have some type of reasoning behind it, in my opinion. So that's what I just thought about. I mean, and maybe it turns out, whatever reason, it might be a different reason, but that's the conclusion I came to.
I mean, that's not a bad one. Even as a person who's read it, I think that's a pretty good theory. Granted, just because it wasn't touched on in the series doesn't mean it couldn't be true. Authors have done a lot of things where they've circled back and been like, yeah, no, that's what was intended. I just didn't outwardly say it, right? I could definitely see it, especially considering that Nezuko seems to be a very special type of demon in the first place. The fact that she has not consumed human flesh, and she is as strong as she is,
Yeah. Okay. Well, sad to say it was never confirmed then, but yeah, because that's what I just wanted to know, because I figured the answer to that may not have too much ramifications, for spoilers something in the future, but I guess it doesn't have any ramifications now once you said it wasn't confirmed in the manga now. So well, there that goes then. Well, damn.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I wish I could give you a definite yes or no, but that one, yeah, they never touched upon that really. Okay. And now I'm kind of upset too because I would have liked to have known what is that, how she came up with at least the idea, because obviously the red blade, this version of whatever the red blade might be is kind of artificial, and Yoruichi's probably wasn't, so
yeah, because it's making sense because we learned from the. Once again, I'm just start talking here. So we learned from Anime Only's perspective. We learned from the training doll that Tanjiro was fighting against that they needed to use 6 swords to just mimic his sword moves. So that already told me that this motherfucker was fast. Meaning now we know his sword was on fire. So now this motherfucker's moving so fast it's causing friction to ignite his fucking sword. It's crazy.
That's how good of a swordsman he was, right? Yeah.
Ridiculous. So I mean, you can put those pieces together if you're paying attention for yourself, but just ridiculous. You already mentioned that after this season, Demon Slayer is going to change drastically, but I can already start seeing it, some of the elements from this season alone. For example, this man using Genya, he has brought a gun to a sword fight. This man has brought a gun to a sword fight. Misuru, she doesn't have a standard katanas. Whatever the head chief did to her sword, she made it in such a way where it can bend and twist and do all these other crazy things. We're starting to see new weapons get involved in the Demon Slayer universe. Hell, even from the demons themselves. The Hantengu, I can't remember which one. I think it's Anger. Yeah, this guy over here is shooting lightning bolts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Based almost magic to a certain extent. It's just, or ninjutsu if you want to relate it a little bit closer. Almost like ninjutsu or something to a certain extent. It's just crazy. So I'm already starting to see the evolving elements of the plot and stuff like that.
Yeah, Mitsuru. I wanted to touch on like Mitsuru's point, for instance. I think when people first saw her sword or like how it worked, I definitely was like, okay, so now we're starting to get into the more creative aspects of not only like what demons can do with their blood, like with their blood weapon, their blood arts or whatever,
demon arts, yeah.
But what also like like what the swordsman of the Demon Slayer Corps can do, determine like based on like how different their breathing styles are, just them as a person, right? So it's definitely a lot more stuff to look forward to. But Mitsuru's sword is a very, even like for manga, was like a pretty big like, oh okay, I like where we going with this. I can't.
Oh man, but I guess we're going, since this is the mid-season review and it's not much that we talked about that we had to talk about, let's talk about some of the hypest moments so far. We did talk about this in our episode 1 review, but just getting to see the Infinity Castle, that alone like is like, and that being the intro to season 3 is fucking ridiculous in itself, because everything in the Infinity Castle just looks so good, and then you get to see all the upper moons, and then just Muzan himself being terrifying and just doing all crazy stuff, not crazy stuff, just still working on his project with the blue spider ladies and things of that nature. So it was just getting to see the Infinity Castle alone was amazing.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Like another thing I liked is the suspense and / like terror, and how they just used his the presence of Upper Moon 1 to just kind of like sell like how on a different level I feel like he was than other like Upper Moons. Because the thing is, like Doma and Nakaza, like we get it, they're threats, but we don't like, there's not a aura of I'll murder the fuck out of you.
But when another Upper Moon can threaten another Upper Moon, it's like, damn.
To the point, just by standing there and talking, just by standing there and talking like Akaza. That's another. And Akaza just completely freeze and shut down.
He's not even trying to be menacing. He's talking all calm, cool, and collected. He just, hey, chill out. He just, all right, yeah, I got you.
And they reveal his face, and that shit. To this day, that's still probably one of my favorite. Like, just that face reveals. Yeah, it's just it was a great thing in and of itself.
Okay.
I think another just like cool moment from like the season is probably how fast what's his name, the Miss Hashira reacts to Hantengu's presence. Like the first, when you first see Muchiro basically go into action, just how it's a quick like thing, and you get to see the first like miss breathing
and then they do that fire ass transition. That was really dope, because I figured they was gonna do something like that to get it going for season 3, because season 2, what did they do? Zenitsu was fooling around in the red light district and got caught up with Daki for the most part. That's how they started it in that. But I figured it was gonna be more of a sneak attack for this one, because we knew they was coming to assault the Swordsmith village, and he just cruised right on in there, and it was go time. And then really it went from 0 to 100 very, very fast. Like you said, off that, because right before that scene, it was like, the lighthearted comedy between, Nezuko and Tanjiro, and then the Miss Hashira as well. And it was, doing all this, basically funny stuff. And then, like, not even 2 seconds after that, he just starts waltzing in, and, it's go time.
Yeah, I loved how quickly they basically got to business, and just how, like, they decided to dynamically show it and everything. It was just a really good moment.
It was really good. I was surprised how Tanjiro kept his cool, though, even though like I guess it's more to be more expected, because he's already fought in 1, well technically 2 now, but really just 1 Upper Moon. Well, no, I would say 2. It would be technically 3 because of Akaza, but he really didn't fight Akaza. But 2 Upper Moons now, and so it makes sense that he's a little bit more grounded and not as shocked when he comes face to face with a upper moon, with the presence of an upper moon and stuff like that. So he handled himself well.
Yeah, I think another scene that shows that very well is when he was going one-on-one with the harpy, or I don't know if that might be the best way to explain it, but the one that could fly.
The one that could fly, yeah.
And he ended up like separating it, and when you separate, they can continue to like move, right? And he separated the one and got attacked by it like point blank, and he was like, "Oh shit, it's not strong. It's not as strong as it was before." And he just went straight into like deciding to take them both out instantly. I was like, this shows, in my opinion, that just showed like how much he grown from a person who freaked out when he was fighting upper moons before to now being able to like at least think about it calmly and then execute.
Yeah. And speaking of that demon, so one question I do want to have for you, so since manga, when you first read this in the manga, and the reveal of up before he could split into different body parts, how did you feel like it was too similar to the whole Daki and Gyotaro situation?
I didn't have that thought. At first, my whole thing was just like, how is this a blood demon art? Like, what is time? Like, I mean, granted, I know, like, for instance, again, I say I'm kind of excited that it's different because, again, it shows just how different and how much more powerful like each upper moon is than the last, right? But I was just like, what is allowing him to create copies of himself? Like, basically, like, what is that? Because I kind of got Daki and Gyotaro, they were basically just demons who like morph themselves around each other, right? But this is supposed to still be exactly one person, right? And I was just like, what is allowing him to split? That was more so my thing than kind of like, is it too similar? I mean, now that you mention it, I don't think I'm necessarily upset by that because it's technically still technically supposed to be him, right? It's just like his different aspects of him as
different forms and emotions.
Yeah, as represented.
I mean, we can say it now because they already got revealed. It's his different emotions.
Right, yeah. So, I was like, that's kind of. I mean, and also it was interesting because I was just like the emotional aspect of because it's tied to, I feel like, the emotional mythology with Oni, and basically how there's like your different emotions are like technically different demons within you or something like that. I think is how it was explained. But it was just in my head, I was like, how the fuck does this work? Like, what? Like, is it the moment you get hit, and like whatever sections of you come off, you just make more or whatever? I technically know now because again I read the manga, but I won't say what the trigger. But at first I was like, what the fuck? And also, the fact that one of them can just fucking hit you with lightning out of fucking nowhere, that's some bullshit. Like, if this was a video game, I'd be upset. I was like, how the fuck do I dodge this? What is this?
No, it's crazy. Like you said, it's just the fights have just gotten way more, I guess, they're up. Okay, let me say this. They're up in the ante on the fights. Because now, on top of that, with the stakes that this is going to have on the plot as a whole for after whether they succeed on fully destroying the Swordsmith village or not, they already fucked it up to some extent. So it's still going to have be ramifications of whether slowing down on the production of the swords and things of that nature. But we don't even know the full extent of the damage yet because it's not the fight isn't over with. So it could be we could end this with them completely destroying the village, and then now we're fucked. You know? So but only time will tell. Besides our manga reader over here who knows the answer, but I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna keep him in check over there, everybody. I'm gonna keep him in check.
I mean, one thing I can say, I feel like that's very obvious from even just watching the anime. They're going to have to change where the fuck the village is located now, because that was the whole thing, was keeping it hidden, and now this shit,
and now they know where the fuck
pop off, and and also that, so
yeah, like you said, even if they didn't, they ward them off and they end up killing these two demons, whatever, they still know where the village is. So, like I said, regardless, they will have to move it, regardless anyway. So, we'll see how it comes now. So, one of the best things about watching Demon Slayer is, at least I'm thinking from your perspective of manga readers, get to see the sword styles animated. How do you feel about the Miss Archivist? We're gonna go in order, starting with him.
Oh, his effects. I like how they did his. I like how they did his, because at first, like, I wasn't sure if they were just gonna, because in the manga it's kind of very tame. It's like whenever Muichiro activates like one of his breathing techniques, it kind of just fog kind of rolls in. It almost matches. Well, yeah, it almost matches what I want to say water breathing. Like his sword will have like mist covered on it and stuff like that, and like fog rolling. But I like kind of how they did it in the anime, where it's like it turns everything almost into a tapestry, somewhat, and then like the fall, and then like how where Muichiro moves is where like how the fog, like,
fog follows and stuff. Yeah,
I really enjoyed that one. I don't remember if they did like a big spectacle for as far as Mitsuru's.
I was about to say we're just gonna get to hers next. So yeah, they didn't really do like you said, like a big spectacle for Mitsuru's. I think they're kind of taking more of an approach similar to how they did Tengen's. Mm-hmm. So I think that's how I'm looking at it right now. Of course, it might still get a little bit flashier as the episodes go on, like but Tengen's. I think they're doing more of a style like Tengen's, how they animated it.
Yeah, which means probably there will be like a bigger moment later on, because as they did with Tengen, after he got the rhythm down of Gyutaro strikes, then you started seeing the explosions and stuff
like going everywhere and going crazy. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking is similar to how they're gonna handle Mitsuru's as well.
Yeah, which I don't dislike, because the whole thing for like Mitsuru's style is the emotion of love. So I was wondering, like, are they just gonna throw in big hearts? And I was like, this kind of seems kind of distracting. It doesn't really fit, I feel like, with a fight. So I'm interested to see like what's the subtlety, like how will it evolve, kind of how like Tengen's did, like what's going to be like a big thing for hers, I guess, as it comes. But I'm excited to see it whenever it happens.
Okay. Yeah. Same here. And then what else happened so far? So the Upper Moon's pulled up. They're attacking the village. So yeah, now with the episodes that we got now, our boy Michiro, he got blasted out. Now he's fighting the Upper Moon 4, Gyoku. Yeah, so the guy in the pot. Excuse me. Nothing too much crazy has gone off yet, but I do find his abilities interesting. How he can, seems like, almost conjure pots to a certain extent and teleport between them,
as well as summon things from him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
His ability is also very interesting, because it's very much like I feel like every anime has to have some motherfucker that's obsessed with art, because this is basically his whole stick is like creation, like and his obsession with it.
And I'm really surprised they didn't censor his art piece that he showed in the show.
Oh yeah, you know what? That is a good point. It was very graphic. All the bodies and stuff, all the bodies, and basically how like stuff was going. I was also kind of surprised when they didn't. They let Miuchiro, when he got hit by all them needles, they let that also.
Talking about like how they just like stuck in his face and stuff like that.
I was like, usually when stuff like that happens, either the needles over time will like disappear, or they'll break, or people will break them off. But they let it ride for, I want to say, a decent amount of time, to where like they let the damage last. So that was also pretty good. They are not afraid to go brutal in the show, which is good, because it's gonna get, which is good, I guess, and bad, because it's gonna get worse before it gets better, I guess.
Understandable. Yeah, so I definitely can't wait to see how their battle evolves, and I'm only assuming that Misuru is gonna go help out Tanjiro with Upper Moon 5, because he's not in the state to hitting him by himself, even though he did chop off 3 of the heads of one of them, as we all saw from the ending of episode, what was that, 4 or 5, whichever that was. Our boy Genya is a demon, almost, or maybe the Hantengu took over his body one way or another. Is something like that. Is he the Hantengu? Don't give me the answer, but either Hantengu took over his body, or Genya is similar to Nezuko, and he's just been hiding this entire time.
Yeah, regardless, there's a mystery afoot, a mystery and a gun. And a gun, because I've been seeing everybody do jokes that Genya got American breathing, which I think is hilarious. Because
I have not seen that. That is hilarious.
There was like he got freedom breathing or American breathing. That's like the that's the fucking joke that people.
I would have died laughing. I'm mad I didn't see that now.
It's so funny too, because to me, when I was reading it, I did not come up with that joke in my head. So when I first time I saw that, I just burst out laughing. Like that is hilarious. And it's also I just think it's cool because around the time period, guns weren't widely spread. So when Ginya first pulled out his fucking shotgun, I was like, where the hell did he get that? I was like, what the fuck?
That's what I want to know. Like, how he just walked up to one of the swordsmiths was like, hey, I know y'all, craft swords and stuff, all that, but I need something else.
That's what I was wondering. Did he ask the swordsmith village? Because I don't think they ever answered where he got his gun from. But I was just saying in my head, like, did he ask the villagers to make this, or do they just make his bullets for him? Like either way, it's still ridiculous. Yeah, it's just wild as hell. Because I just feel like if I was a swordsmith and someone came to me and told me to make a gun, I'd be like, motherfucker, this is I make art, okay? This shit,
gun.
Yeah, gun.
You don't see me over here smelting this iron and pounding it into a sword. What are you talking about, a gun? We don't do that over here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, he must have found somebody who agreed to it though.
Mm-hmm. Somebody somewhere.
Because I mean, like you said, he got to be somebody manufacturing these bullets. Unless he's truly doing it all himself, then hey, some people take the time to do planning themselves. But I would only assume that he's getting these supplied by one of the swordsmiths.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because again, like Mitsuru, for instance, like Mitsuru has a special sword, so it wouldn't be, I feel like, far fetched to someone in the swordsmith village to at least be like, oh you want that new shit? I got you. I'll hook you up. I mean, because...
And then on top of that, like, what does Mitsuru do for swords break? She has to wait for the chief of all people to, make another one?
Maybe. I mean, that's what it seems like. It seems like the chief specially made her sword based on how people, like, the reaction that people had when, like, she, saved the villages and stuff like that. It was like, that blade is specially made by the chief. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
How does it work?
She better have multiple copies on standby just already made, because I can only imagine that those making her sword probably takes longer than
yeah, sword. I would imagine that too. Something I also thought about. I think when I first saw it or like read in the manga, it was just like if you make any wrong move with a blade like that's like partially hard and then like also partially wavy, it's gonna
probably mess up the entire thing.
It's gonna fuck up all your shit.
You said, the craftsmanship you probably had to have, during making it. You probably just got to be on point during every single step at all times, or you're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah, no, but it's hats off to the creator. It's just very creative type.
Yeah, it is great. Like I said, I'm definitely glad we're starting to see, different weapon types and things of that nature, and being explored throughout the universe. So I think that's really, really cool. And then so it's like I said, only 5 episodes so far. Then we ended with Ginya, being taken over. So that episode releases this Sunday here, so we're gonna get to see the aftermath of that. But I am enjoying it so far. I'm definitely waiting for Tanjiro to get his new sword because he hasn't gotten it yet. So I definitely can't wait to see that. And
what?
No.
What?
Is he gonna do it? Will this Tanjiro gonna become a dual?
Well, do you want the answer to that, or do you want to wait?
I don't know. I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait. I want to wait. Yeah, I want to wait to answer that.
That's funny.
Because that just hit me. Because you saw me, I just froze. I was
like, what? I was like, oh, he got a crazy idea to say. What the hell is this man about to say?
Oh man, but yeah, it's crazy. Anything else you want to touch up on for the mid-season, season 3?
Oh no, I think I said my piece. Like I said, I look forward to seeing the reactions to when Ginya's whole stuff gets revealed, because in my opinion, this is a very interesting touchstone of Demon Slayer. Like, basically what's going on with him. But from what I've seen, I've been enjoying it as a person who's been waiting to see some of these fights animated. I think they're doing it justice, and everything like that. I'm just waiting for, like, I guess the bigger moments.
I just had another epiphany.
Oh no! Let's say it this time.
Okay. I'm just gonna start talking about. Okay, so if Tanjiro becomes a dual wielder, right? It's almost like he's gonna have two styles at once, because going back to his fight with Daki, where he was mixing water breathing and fire and his sun breathing at the same time. Oh my God, is this man gonna get dual wielding?
Only time will tell. I'm not gonna answer that one because you seem way too invested in that.
I'm too turned over here. Just, yeah, as I'm sitting here, I gotta get going out for more theories pop up in my head. Is there any other thing you want to touch upon before we rate these episodes? No,
let's get to the rate.
Okay, so we're gonna we're only gonna rate these. I can't remember the exact episode amount. It's either 4 or 5 right now, but these first few episodes of Demon Slayer. Okay, 5 of Demon Slayer season 3. It's not a 10 out of 10 because I think it's missing something still right now for the first half. So maybe as it goes on, maybe season 3 as a whole might be 10 out of 10, but right now still not a 10 out of 10 yet. Almost, I think I'd give like 8.5 to a 9.
Oh, okay. I feel like that's very generous for where it's starting. For me, right now, I was gonna give it like a 7.5 to an 8. Like it's a very strong start. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Okay, so you're a point below me.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm liking how it's displaying everything. I'm just waiting for the bit, and again, this could just be me being overcritical because
and then you also got to think about, you're looking at it from the eyes of somebody who already read the manga. This is all still fresh to me and stuff.
Yeah, so for me, I'm just waiting, I guess, on like the big moments and how they handle it, just like in season 2. Like, the way, however they execute the ending of this arc and like certain big points, it will probably raise it for me. But I think right now it's a very solid start, very good. So 7.5 to an 8 is where I fall.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, the animation just on point this season. CGI, I have no problems with it. And then I'm just loving all the lore that's going on right now that they're telling with season 3.
Yeah, so that was one of my favorite parts about this arc, was that when they decided to talk about like the beginnings of the Demon Slayer core.
And now I got another question, but I almost don't want to ask it because it's involving Yurichi. I'm gonna just say that one because we haven't gotten too much from him, and I don't want to potentially just spoil some. So I'm gonna just say that
there's a lot. I was about to say there's a lot more for his story, so I would be very careful.
Yeah, so I'll probably I was just saying I'm gonna say that question till maybe the latter half of the season, depending on how it ends, if maybe we can get some more information on it. But we don't know too much on them just yet, so I'm gonna save my question because, like I said, I don't want to get spoiled or anything. Well, all right. Well, that is our Demon Slayer season 3 mid-season review. Everybody, let us know down below in the comments what you guys think so far of Demon Slayer season 3. Are you enjoying it? You love it? Hate it? How you guys feel about the CGI? And then we're going to head on to our next agenda for today, everybody, our weekly recommendation. So, McMillian, would you like to give the people this week's recommendation?
This week's recommendation is another anime that I kind of stumbled upon randomly. I believe Ace also did the same. It was one day I didn't have anything to watch, and I was going on Netflix, and I was like, let me just check out what's happening. I was like, I ain't seen this before. The description sound interesting. Let me go ahead and watch it. Turned out to be a really good, enjoyable watch. The
banger.
Yeah, the manga. Unfortunately, I don't know if the anime will get another season, but the manga is ongoing. The series is called Darwin's Game. Just a slight little breakdown of it. If you've seen it, it's like how would I describe it? Almost tournament, like battle shonen, if you will, with a with a slight.
I give it that.
With a slight twist. Basically, people are put into this game that they, at first think is just kind of like a little, like almost VR. Well, not VR, but like AR kind of thing. Like
augmented.
I love Pokemon Go, if you will. Right? You get a power. They give you a power. They assign you to fight a person. But it turns out that these fights are real, and the powers that they give you are also real, and it evolves into this whole thing of like people creating gangs or groups, and that determining ownership almost of this city, which I don't remember if it's based on like actual Tokyo or not, or like where they are, but
I believe it was, yes.
Okay, yeah, but it's a pretty good watch. It's very interesting in my opinion. Especially there's some very the character growth also is very kind of like cool. Like the characters don't stay static either. in like the couple episodes, but it's a very decent watch. I definitely give it a recommendation. And is if you were interested in watching it, it's on Netflix, and as well, like I said, the story is technically still ongoing, just in manga form. So,
yep. All right. Well, once again, everybody, this week's weekly anime recommendation brought to you via McMillian is Darwin's Game. Once again, you can go and find that on Netflix and maybe other spots, but we definitely know it's on Netflix.
Yep.
Well, all right. Heading on to our last item on the agenda for today, everybody.
The tier list, which will determine whether or not people like us or not.
So this is our first time doing something like this. We'll see how this goes for the. Hopefully, I can edit this, correctly for the video wise. And then, if you listen to this audio only, we're gonna try our best to, vocally talk about what's happening, so you guys can follow along as well. But yeah, so let's just go. Let me present my screen here. We can go ahead and gonna get us started. So we're gonna be doing characters from season 1 through 3, and then once again we're also not doing everybody. So like, for example, we left out Upper Moon 1 and Upper Moon 2, and then we left out some characters like the water swordsman that was in training with Tanjiro that he met in season 1, stuff like that.
The ghost kids.
The ghost kids, and then of course some of the less notable demons, left them out too, and stuff like that.
Left out, and also we don't have anybody from the Butterfly Mansion, like we can besides obviously Shinobu and Kano, but the other girls that helped take care of them, we did not put them in just because we didn't feel like they had too much character, at least right now, to be ranked in the tier list.
Correct. And then so we did leave all of the Hashira in, even though all of them really doesn't get a lot of screen time in the anime just yet. They have already all been revealed, and our boy McMillian here does have some more information on it. So when we do get to some of the Hashiras that we haven't got more in the show yet in the anime, just know that McMillian's gonna be pulling more from just a little bit stuff from that happens in the manga. But once again, I'm gonna keep him in line. Everybody,
I'm not gonna spoil anything that hasn't already been on the show. And I'm gonna try and argue from a standpoint of right now, but there may be a little bit bias coming for some characters.
All right. So I guess there's no other better way to start this than with our main trio themselves, and starting with our boy Tanjiro, the MC of the show here. And I was actually talking to McMillian about this offline. I don't really like Tanjiro that much, but as the seasons of Demon Slayer been going on, he has been growing on me more and more. And right now, I would either put him in A or B. So what are you more leaning towards? What are your opinions here on Tanjiro?
Okay, if this was manga debate, I'd be like S tier.
No, we were just right now.
Yeah, but right now up to season 3, I think he fits solidly within A tier. He's a very good character. His dynamic fits the show. It also helps move the show along. And one aspect I really like about Tanjiro is that besides the fact that he retains the kindness that he had before he became a Demon Slayer, it's his level, the way he always seems to grow. He takes every encounter and he just continually learns from it.
Learns from we was just touching up on that in the review. Actually, like I said, one of my things from this season I like about him is we mentioned how when Upper Moon 4 just walks in, but Tanjiro keeps his cool, though he doesn't go batshit crazy or nothing. He keeps his cool and he actually assists the Hashira in trying to take out the upper rank demon and everything.
Yep.
All right, so moving on from there, next in the trio, our boy Zenitsu here. Zenitsu.
I'd argue I'd probably put him in B or C, and I know some people are like, "See, that's pretty low for a tertiary character." The only reason is because Zenitsu right now, at least for my fact, besides if majority of his story, at least currently, is him freaking out and being a crybaby. Now, granted, his abilities are cool, his fighting style is cool, but a lot of his actions that he does, I know it's an anime trope, so I don't know how much I want to really take away from his character, but is him falling asleep and then doing badass shit. Except for maybe in the later half of the Entertainment District arc, because technically he was like half awake, half asleep. So that was pretty good. But I would just say that as a character thing, I'm not the biggest fan of that trope personally. Like sometimes it's cool, but after a while, I'm just like, does this motherfucker ever learn how to just fight on his own? But right now, at least in the show, that's kind of where I put him at. So either B or C.
Okay, no, I agree. The tired trope and the sleepy trope is one of the main things I do dislike about our boy Zenitsu here. And it's just almost like if he was always asleep, he'll be the best character in the show. All right, but of course that's unrealistic.
I mean, I love him for his
really
comedy.
Hoping,
I'll say that.
Yeah, I love him for his comedies, but I'm really hoping that we get to see Zenitsu grow as a character as well in the future, and he gets less timid and I guess less of a crybaby as well. Because I guess you can kind of call him, categorize him as a crybaby, less of a crybaby if you will. And I just want to see him grow more. I just think he's cool. Yeah. And then the last of our trio here, our boy
Inosuke.
Now
Inosuke is
the mountain bandit, if you will.
Yeah. Now Inosuke is interesting because I'd probably give him a B or an A. I'm more leaning towards B than I am A, and the reason because Inosuke, while I guess I think it's very much like a pick your poison type thing, because some people I could very well see finding Inosuke annoying. To me, he's very funny, but not only that, but I really feel like the moments where he, for instance, like in, let's say, the Mugen Train arc, he really stepped up and showed that he could like carry himself as a fighter, but also just like he's starting to realize that this isn't just like a game anymore for certain aspects. Like he started to take things a lot more seriously when he met with, like, for instance, when Rengoku and Akaza were fighting, he realized that like his antics would just get in the way of Rengoku really trying to protect everybody. He was able to help Tanjiro get out of like his sleep paralysis, and he realized that he doesn't just want to be like this kind of like side jokey character by himself, that he wants to be somewhat more like Tanjiro, where he takes action and is respected and stuff like that. So I have to. I was just saying, off of that reason alone, I probably put him like B, closer to B. Or A. That's why he kind of like bleeds into A, because he's showing a lot of character growth, I feel like, from there.
Yeah, I'm about to say, for me, it was either going to be B or A, and I'm fine with leaving him at B for right now. Maybe we might talk ourselves in A a little bit later on. But yeah, no, he's a funny character, but he does have major implications on some of the plot points. So like, he did help with fight the Upper Moon 6 with Daki. He helped took Daki out, and then he also did help Zenitsu and Tanjiro stay alive during the whole spider situation, and taking some of them on and stuff. But I'm with you on that. We do need we do, of course, it is part of anime gimmicks, but as the tone of the plot starts to get more a little bit darker, I would like to see a little bit more of a serious Inosuke.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm leaning to. So just for right now, he's kind of just like at the B part.
All right, so now we done got the main trio out the way. I guess we can start with some of these lower demons here. And no, why not? We'll start with the hand demon. One of the first major demons Tanjiro had to fight against. And he took out some of our notable characters that we know, the ghost swordsmiths here, but it's okay. See or trash? How you feeling about the hand demon?
With the hand demon, trash. Just straight trash. I already technically Ace already knew this because I made a joke about this. But the hand demon, he barely, in my opinion, I guess you could say, was he scary? No, not really. Maybe. I mean, like, appearance wise, I mean, it was kind of weird. But other than that, he was like the only thing carrying him was the fact that, like, I eat all of Urodaki's students. After that, though, it was like, that's your character. You petty. Cool. You dead now.
Oh, yeah. He got dealt with really quick. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that he did.
So trash.
That he did. All right. Well, the next notable demon that our boy Tanjiro had to fight was a drum demon here. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna go and keep it a buck. It's either a B, at least a B, because that fight scene was something we haven't seen in anime in a while. Like how they basically made the whole room 360, and it was flipping and turning all the different directions and stuff like that. Like, it was a unique fight. We haven't seen something like that before. Even if we have seen something like that before, we haven't seen something like that in a while.
You know what?
So just off uniqueness alone on how his fight was, I'm putting him in B.
You know what? I think that's fair. At first I was gonna put him in C because I was just like, unfortunately, we don't really get much from him. But I do think that that's a good point. Not only that, but like even thinking more of like the character, I think he was the demon we really get to see like most character from at first before we got to the whole lower moon, upper moon stuff, because we got to see how much he felt like he fell after he stopped like focusing on music and other stuff like that, and like really like, what the fuck am I? I'm a demon now. Like, what the hell? So yeah, I guess I put him in B.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Moving up the ranks of notable demons, our boy Tanjiro fought. We got the ball and arrow demons. I have their name, I just don't remember them off the top of my head.
Based on the fact that most people just called them ball and arrow, I have to put them in C. The fact that people don't even try and remember their names. Now, granted, you could say that for the drum demon as well, but I feel like more people remember the drum demon than they do this guy and girl here.
So this is Yahaba, and then this is Susumaru.
Yeah, for those who can't see, Yahaba is the arrow demon, and
yes, the ball demon, the one with the balls, is Susumaru. The female demon.
Not only that, Susumaru got tricked into killing herself. So,
oh my!
You don't remember that with the?
I remember.
Yeah. So
it was just how you said it.
I'm just saying, like, you didn't even technically get taken out by Tanjiro. You just like, fuck, we work for Muzan. Shit, I wasn't supposed to say that. Giant arm comes through. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much, yeah. That did indeed happen. And then two more demons before we get to upper moons here. Our boy Rui. At least it got to be at least A, right?
I'd probably say A. His whole episode broke the internet. That was the thing that put Demon Slayer on the map as far as anime is concerned. But besides that, I like Rui as the whole like what loneliness, as an allegory of what loneliness can do to a person. Like the fact that he fabricated a whole family. Fabricated a whole family, became a demon due to like his sickness and stuff like that. Like he was, I feel like, and also I have to give Rui his props because he was the honest to God first character that I really feel like that showed you how threatening demons can truly be.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Like technically, people, I think, like I said, like the hand demon wasn't really that big of a thing, and the other two were, I mean, they were hard fight. The Tamari ball girl and the eye arrow dude, but they weren't like. Rui was murdering leagues of demon slayers by himself, and even and Tanjiro, and also Tanjiro cut off Rui's head, and he still kept going. So like,
yeah.
So they
and then on top of that, it was like one of those points in the show was like, okay, we're fighting the Spider family, but then you realize that he was actually the strongest one at the entire time, and he was the one who, like you said, put this family together. And then on top of that, just like, I think, like you said, how this episode broke the internet though, but like I think that episode alone just encapsulates what is so great about anime, like it's just a whole, just the type of feelings that you get from watching that episode. It's like that's the reason why you watch anime. Yeah,
this is the reason you watch anything is right there too. But yes, and definitely, I really do. I will agree with you, Ace, that was as the case.
All right, then once again, last notable demon before we get to Upper Moons here, our boy from the Mugen Train arc here. I do have his name.
Okay,
I forgot it as well.
Can you? I want you to give your opinion first because I am biased.
Enmu, there we go. Enmu. Okay.
Enmu, yes, I am biased against this person.
Bias in a good way or bad?
Bad. Bad.
So an entire arc, even though it's small, is dedicated to our boy Enmu. And but he took over a train. So let's look at it from this perspective. Was morphing with a train a smart idea? Because now it's almost like Can he turn from train form back into human form, and leave the train fully? Like, we don't know. That never been confirmed. Does he have to always be on these tracks now that he done merged himself to this train? And say he did somehow become an open moon. Once again, are you stuck on this train track though?
I think so. To answer the question about is he stuck as the train, no, because he technically Rengoku.
We saw him change forms and have his body forms, but the train was still his body.
Well, no, I was saying, if you remember, unless the episode isn't canon, when they redid Mugen Train as a season, Rengoku went to check out the depot in which that train was originally, and if I'm not mistaken, the train was still there, so he just switched to a different train at some point, is what I'm saying. If that episode is canon. If the episode's not canon, then fuck it, he's stuck as a train and he fucked up bad.
He fucked up bad, and then all it took was for a Hashira to pull up on his ass.
Yes, but besides that,
and he didn't even get taken out by the Hashira.
The train thing is bad for the simple fact of one, they showed what happens if the train crashed. What the fuck you gonna do? Two, the worst thing about Enmu is the fact that he could put you to sleep in a nightmare, and if you do not have the resolve to take yourself
I was just about to say I do think his blood demon art is kind of a pussy move.
Yeah, I was about to say, for instance, if you don't realize that you could technically do what Tanjiro did and just kill yourself and instantly wake up.
Okay, so I'm here now. See your trash.
Yeah. So here let's just get into my bias. Trash all the fucking way. I do not like this motherfucker. He is, as you said, it is a pussy move. He does not, in my opinion, his rules of engagement suck. Did he make for an interesting fight in the movie? Yes, but he is preamble to Akazu. That is legit all this character is. He is preamble to a better threat done right. And two, I don't like him as a thing, because Muzan, when he was going around killing all of the fucking lower moods, this nigga lived because he was just murder me. First off, he don't got the resolve to even be here. I don't.
You know what? You making sense. You making sense now.
I don't like Enmu. I really don't. His ability is such. I just feel like you could have done so much better than that fucking train. You could have taken over a village if you can put people to sleep like that. I mean, it's interesting. It's a cool way to get more to eat people.
He could have pulled a WandaVision type situation or something. He could have. I don't know, what's the reference I'm looking for? Infinite Tsukuyomi type situation or something
But
he decided to pick a train.
Yeah, and what's crazy, and I can't be fully mad at it because it fits the type of character Enmu is. Very fucking.
Well, no, because think about it. At the same time, he could have pulled a Daki and Gyotaro type situation where he hangs out somewhere like a red light district.
If he kept it low key, he could have just went around killing villages really. Now, the train move is interesting, but it's also kind of dumb because it's hey, people have been missing from train. It got reported very fucking quickly. The turnover from him becoming a stronger stronger lower moon one to getting fucking called out for eating people for becoming a train and eating people was very fucking fast. So I don't.
It was.
It was. The other upper moons have been upper moons for hundreds of years, probably because they've been low key as fuck, right? So. I don't know. I don't like Enmu.
No. I agree. 100%. No, now that you done major case, I feel you. We're gonna get these two out the way. These are the demons who's helping Tanjiro out, trying to rescue convert his sister back to human.
So I don't know how fast, but you want to get through this, I would probably say them, for me at least, C right now.
Yeah, I was just about to say I was just gonna throw them a C.
In the manga, they get a lot. I will say though, later on, for anyone interested, they do get more interesting later. But I feel like right now, as far as they've been set up, and the fact that we don't see them anymore after season 1, I feel like a C is a very safe spot for them.
Correct. And then the two people I'm referring to for our audio only is Tamayo and Yushiro. Once again, these are the demons who's helping Tanjiro trying to convert his sister back to a human. You know, when they said, you know, hey, go collect all the blood from the upper moons, then come back and talk to me. sit this man on the RPG quest.
Yeah, basically. Fetch quest.
And said come back.
Fetch quest.
Ooh. Oh man. I guess move a little bit faster. Kano.
I think
just because she takes care of my boys, I'm putting her in B.
I was about to say I would be fine if you put her in B or C at least right now.
Solely because she take care of my boys.
I would argue for B, just due to her backstory. I really like Kano's thing of like if you take a person and strip them away of like their individuality, right? They're not going to from that young of an age, they're not going to know how to stick up for themselves or what they want. They're just going to become whatever you kind of like mold, like put in front of them. And I like how even though it's a very small moment, like how we're starting to see her really trying to come into like who she, at least trying to figure herself out. Like, even like within the season, she was able to slightly speak up for Tanjiro and stuff like that, right? So I'm liking. I have more information, but at least where she is right now, this was like where I started to really appreciate just her as a character a little bit more. So B, I think it was fine.
Okay. Moving on to Genya here, and I'm slapping Genya in A solely because this man brought a gun to a sword fight.
You know what? That's fair. I ain't even go.
It don't get no better than that.
I'm not even gonna argue that. That is completely fair. He's saying, "Fuck what y'all doing with this sword shit. I have a gun.
I have a gun."
Let's talk about it. All right?
Man, listen. I don't know how I skipped over Nezuko.
So Nezuko is such a hard character because she doesn't get a lot of character development herself, so it's kind of hard to like rank it. But if I'm going off of just badass factor alone, I feel like I have to put her in B because of the shit she did to Daki.
Yeah, I was about to say she has too many badass moments to not at least be a B, but she doesn't. But since she can't talk, it's almost like she can't. Yeah. But since she can't talk, it's like she can't. She's not verbally moving the plot forward. Mm-hmm. She's only moving the plot forward by actions. So, but yeah, just B.
Yeah, I think
keep it short and sweet. Put Nezuko in B. Mm-hmm. Let's see what we got left before we get to Upper Moons here. Our boy, can't remember his name. You know it though.
Urodaki.
There we go.
The master,
Tanjiro's teacher,
former Water Hashira,
or Tanjiro's sensei, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you rank him. What do you want to put Urodaki?
Urodaki, even with my knowledge in the manga, I'd argue for a B for him. Okay. He is very much the sensei character, which isn't bad. Everybody has a role to fill, and I feel like he does his very well. He was a very good guiding hand to Tanjiro, and he was obviously like somewhat of a caretaker to the people he trained, because even like Gyu, instead of like Gyu necessarily trained Tanjiro himself, he took him to Urodaki, fully trusted him with Tanjiro and Nezuko's development. Like, this is a guy who has shown he is dependable, and also he used to be a Hashira, so he has to be cold in some form or fashion.
In some form, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So I'd say he was solid B.
Okay. Well, I think it's time for our first S tier character, and I think you already know who I'm talking about. I'm just going to go ahead and drag our boy Muzan straight to the top. S character. Even though we haven't seen much from him, every time you see something from this man, it's always intimidating.
I was not sure if you were who you were talking about at first when you grabbed Muzan. It was funny, not because I don't. It's funny not because I disagree. It's just Muzan himself as a person. Like, when you really think down to it, he is just a threat. That is it. Like, he is a threat, and I think they do such a good job of displaying that this motherfucker gets joked on. He gets called Michael Jackson, but he is still the number one motherfucker that everybody's gunning for, that people are scared of. Like, I think they do such a good job with this character that if I was arguing with manga knowledge, I'd even argue for an S. He is much more so. There's a moment that when it gets animated, I think it's gonna break the fucking. It's gonna be talked about for so long.
Oh no, I can only imagine the type of shit that we're gonna see Muzan do as the series go along, because he's getting madder and madder by the season. Not only with his Demon Slayers, with the Demon Slayers, but with his Upper Moons as well. Like he's just getting pissed as the seasons go along.
He called them all into a meeting and told them they were shit to their faces.
It don't get no better than that.
Yeah,
it don't get no better than that. None of them ain't even done nothing wrong at the time. But no, all of y'all horrible shit. You can't do your job right. Why are we still looking for the blue spider lady? You should have been found it by now. Do I have to do everything myself? And it might get to a point where we see Muzan say, you know what? You don't want something done right, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I think we'll do these back to back. Akaza and Rengoku, starting with.
Okay.
Who you want to start with?
Let's go Rengoku. Just because this is my first one. I had to give Rengoku an S.
An S?
Yes.
You're gonna give him an S. Okay, I'll slap him there for right now. So you're gonna give him an S. So explain to me.
Here's why. Okay. Rengoku's death set in motion basically everything that we are now loving about Demon Slayer.
Okay, I'll give you that. We
have expounded, like his death expounded upon the lore of sun breathing. It directly led to him, like Tanjiro figuring it out, right? His death triggered Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu finally, like, I feel like taking the time to be like, all right, we truly need to boss up, because that fight that has showed us where we are and what we have to surpass. That is Upper Moon 3. We have to get over that to even get, there are 2 niggas over that to even like really.
And you know compete. What? I guess it also speaks to the strength of Rengoku as well, for him to be able to basically fight Akaza toe to toe.
Now I do. Okay. Now, when we get later in the series, I will have I want you to remember.
I mean, of course, Akaza will maybe not necessarily going full strength, but he was still able to keep up though.
Yes, and it was him by himself.
Even almost won. Even if Akaza wasn't, quote unquote, going full strength, that man still almost died.
In my opinion, also let's 2 things before I stop. First point, what you just said, he did win. Because his point wasn't necessarily to beat Akaza. That was never.
Well, you're right.
It was.
I feel you, but I'm just saying.
It was. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
It was to protect the people on the train and his underlings.
I'm only saying this to frame why I feel like he's S. The goal was not to win, because he knew. I fully believe Rengoku knew he could not beat him by himself. It was to save everybody, and that's what he did. 2,
he did accomplish that goal.
2, set your heart a fucking blaze. That shit is immortalized. I feel like if anybody who watches watches this show, that is a raw ass line. People will instantly know who you talk about, where it's from, and give respect to the GOAT.
I guess shit. If we're getting Rengoku all these problems, it's only right to throw Akaza in this, right?
I was also about to argue for Akaza being an S. The only thing is, Akaza is an S to me for probably different reasons of why he might be an S in anime only. But as far as why I feel like Akaza is an S, if we're talking anime, I feel like look no further than the Rengoku and him fight. His sense of his threat presence, fucking A tier. The shit he pulled off, the shit talking he did, how easily he handled a fight with Itachi.
Yeah, no, like you already mentioned, Akaza versus Rengoku is the turning point in Demon Slayer, not just for plot wise, but also for fucking action wise. Like we didn't have any action pieces in Demon Slayer like that until we got to Rengoku versus Akaza. Like they completely turned up for that fight. It was like, this is the type of stuff you can expect going forward.
Yes, and also they're just, in my opinion, they're both very solid characters. Akaza, a little, again, I feel like a lot more people will see what I'm talking about when we get to more of his stuff, but even right now in the anime, I still feel like he's a very solid character. He's obviously a very principled demon, but at the same time, he is still a demon, and I feel like that's for a lot of people, they could identify with that and respect it and stuff like that. But also, it's just.
Well, moving on from there, Kaguya, the head of the Demon Slayer Corps. Because there hasn't been much shown in the anime, and all we know about him so far is that yes, he's the head. He's sick for whatever reason, we don't know just yet, but he's sick. He has some type of illness, but the Hashiras do respect him though. They have his undying respect.
So for what they've showed of him, And also, as you mentioned, he's not a lot in there. I'd either give him low B or high C, because he is. I think.
Do we give him B just because he's the head, or do we give him C?
Well, the reason I was gonna give him B is my argument for why he should be in B is kind of resembling what you said with the whole Hashira thing. He has respect for Hashira. He's a level-headed man. He is in charge of the entire Demon Slayer Corps, which I just feel like is within and of itself impressive. He is fighting off of he is living in spite of a curse that Muzan has placed on his family for generations. That's what he's dying from, right? And then 2, he takes the time when
it might have been a small spoiler, but I don't think.
No, they mentioned it in the first season.
Did they mention that? Probably.
They mentioned it in the first season. It is something that they do mention in the first season. They also show the progression of it in Mugen Train, if people don't remember. But the thing I'm about to reference is also Mugen Train. He takes the time to not only like thank personally like every soldier that he has in the Demon Slayer Corps, but visit their graves. And he remembers each and every one of their names. That was in Mugen Train when he's going to the graveyard that's basically behind his house, and how he walked it. It shows that he does that almost every day if he can. I think going around and thanking all the people that have given their lives
given
to
their
this cause. And I just feel like as a character that's not in the fighting, that's not in there, he's very well represented. He holds a lot of weight. It's just, and also again, this is a guy who's not even fighting, and he's been on Muzan's ass. His family has been on Muzan's ass for years. Like,
crazy once you think about
it. Yeah, he is an issue, and he can't get out of bed in the morning without help. That's some good That's a good character. That's some good representation, in my opinion.
You spoke me into it. Kaguya B. He's in B. All right, and so let's get into some more of these Hashiras here, because that's basically all we got left. But we're gonna start with some of the Hashiras that haven't got that much screen time in the anime just yet. Starting with our boy Obanai. This is the Hashira with the snake for the audio only listeners here.
So for Obanai, I'm leaning more towards a C, at least for right now. Because the only really defining factors that we have for him is that he's an asshole.
Yeah, pretty much.
He showed up when Tang lost his arm and was like, "I'm retiring, bitch."
Like, what do you mean retirement? We need you supposed to be in the field. You're a Hashira. You can use one hand and still be effective as a Hashira, which technically he can be, but he can't fight no more upper moons with one hand.
I mean, not only that, but he also brought up like I just don't like how he threw Rengoku's death in his face too. Like he was like, "We already lost Rengoku. We can't lose another one. Get your ass in."
And I understand him. Like he mentioned, like, yes, we already lost Rengoku. Can't lose another one. But at the same time, my boy, he done lost the whole
arm. Exactly.
And then on top of that, he has done something no other Hashira could do for over 100 years. So cut him some slack. All right, just cut him some slack.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Cut him some slack. The next Hashira here, once again, one of the ones that haven't got that much screen time so far in the anime just yet. Senami. This is the other angry guy. This is the guy with the white hair. Once again for audio only listeners.
Yeah.
The Hashira with the white hair.
Yep. I'd probably also put him in C for right now. There's some stuff that makes me like his character later, but his most notable thing right now is stabbing Nezuko.
Well, once again, I can't argue with that either.
That's his most notable thing is stabbing Nezuko, and I could honestly see someone arguing even that could put him in trash, but I'd at least give him a C because he is a Hashira, and I'm at least pay respect to that aspect about him. I'm not even like that big of a fan of Sade, but like I at least say he seems like an interesting character based off what we've seen. I could dip into my manga knowledge, but I'm gonna just go off what we've seen, and right now it's a C for me at least.
And then once again, our last Hashira here in terms of notable anime appearances is Gyomi. This is which Hashira is this?
I don't think they revealed his breathing yet.
I believe they did, because when they first introduced all the Hashiras, they told them they said what type of Hashira they were.
He's the rock Hashira.
Oh, there we go.
Unfortunately, again, C, I like Guillaume, but the thing is, right now he
just for what we're at in the show, the anime, he hasn't done
the only thing he's done is pray.
Well, we know,
I think for Nezuko.
We do know he's the mentor for Genya, and right now Genya seems to be turning out better than what we saw him from season 1. So
I mean,
and then we also know that he got Genya to start praying as well too.
No, he's a good dude. I like Guillaume. For that reason, I could see higher in C tier. It's like pretty like I don't know where we're not really doing like true rankings, but he's probably at least right now for anime C. I don't think he could really fall below or above that.
Okay. All right.
Who you want to go to next?
Let's finish out with the Upper Moons here, and then we'll finish out with the Hashiras.
Okay.
Gyotaro and Daki.
Are
we ranking them together? Because technically they're Upper Moon 6.
Yes.
Are we ranking them? Are we ranking them together?
No, because they're their own characters.
Okay.
Gyotaro, I would have to give an A.
It's at least an A.
Yeah.
Yes. I've never. I ain't gonna say I've never, but it's only so many characters in anime that is A+ in shit talking. And the amount of shit that Gyotaro talked to Tanjiro is almost undefeated.
Yes. Not only that, besides the shit talking, I think Gyotaro has a very interesting story and is a great foil to Tanjiro. I agree. He is basically almost the exact opposite. The only thing they really have in common is a desire to protect their siblings,
their sister, and then like we already went through in that season, Tanjiro, he made the realization like, hey, no, that could have been me and Nezuko easily.
Mm-hmm. So I that alone, I'd have to give Gyotaro a Daki,
and then also I do like his blood demon art, which is actually blood as well.
Blood
which is crazy, but his blood demon art is cool.
But I like Gyotaro. Daki, I could either go B or C on her. It is.
I gotta give Daki at least a B.
Yeah.
She's an Upper Moon, so I'm not gonna disrespect her, but she's not as strong as Gyotaro. We already know that, and she did get taken out by Zenitsu and Inosuke.
Yes. Besides that, I like Daki. Surprisingly, is actually one of.
And I do like her character though.
Yeah, I was about to say that. As I've told Aaron before, Daki's actually one of my favorite Upper Moons. Not the favorite, but it's not necessarily because like she's the strongest or anything. I think it's her. She's like an example of what I guess the demonic aspect of the fact of like what society can push someone to do to be like a demon, right? Like the only way for her to survive was to become a woman of the night at a very young age, and that warped her sense of self, sense of mind, stuff like that. Like you could tell she truly felt like if her and her brother killed someone, that they truly deserved it. That was it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
If it's no buts about it, yeah.
I just feel like that's a good representation of like what, like not comically evil, but actually like what evil is, which is where you believe in whatever you're doing is just and right. And she is a very good example of it. Also, her abilities are very interesting to me, and she's just a very interesting character.
And I'll also go as far as to say that if we was ranking Gyotaro and Daki together, like for just as Upper Moon 6, I damn near might put them in S, just because of just the sheer destruction that they caused in the red light district alone. But I'm sorry, and they took out a Hashira. Yeah, even though they died at the end, but they took him out the game. Mm-hmm.
I mean, even besides that, their dynamic together is very interesting.
That as well. They're in their dynamic together. Like on top, like Daki is fighting Tanjiro, the trio, while also fighting Tengen at the same time using her bands in 2 different places. Crazy.
She might be weaker than her brother, but she ain't no slouch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, I if they were together, it's an easy S. But separate, I feel like these are very accurate representations.
And then, yeah, we're just gonna do these last two upper moons here. Upper moon, we'll start with 5. Upper moon 5, Gyoku.
Gyoku. So Gyoku,
I don't know much about him yet, but I do like his abilities. That I've seen so far in the anime. Right now it's at least a B for me. But what do you have to say about it?
I if I don't put in my anime stuff,
if you want to, he's in this season now. So if you want to drag on a few more stuff that we're gonna see in this season, you can.
Personally, I don't like him as a character.
Oh my!
I don't like him.
No, I mean I agree with that because he is not the greatest,
but as a threat factor and everything that he does. It takes him out of trash. Oh my god! I personally in Jay's ranking system, this nigga is garbage. But but I think he's a C for me personally. Only because
even with the information
even with the information I know, he's very interesting. He's not. So I guess that's the problem. He's not that interesting of a character to me. His abilities are cool. What he does is visually like. It's jarring. It grabs you, right? Like it gets your attention. But other than that, there wasn't. I don't think he has a lot of
anything
substance.
Too notable about
him.
Yeah, much substance. Other than he like making these crazy art pieces and stuff like that.
Now, Hantango, on the other hand,
I actually moon here. Moon 4.
I actually do.
I'm at least on B for right now.
Enjoy his character because, and the thing is, it's kind of hard not to slightly enjoy Hantango because the fact of you get 4 of it.
So where you think he should go? B or A?
B. I'd give B. He's not. Okay. He's not dynamic enough. I feel like to be an A, but he's a very solid character. Like B. I think
I am enjoying his fight right now between Tanjiro and Nezuko as well. And Ginyu too. They're all three of them there. I'm enjoying what they showing for him so far. Right now there's we've been left off a cliffhanger. There we go after seeing Tanjiro behead all of them. But of course. We got left off of another cliffhanger on that with Ginyu being somewhat of a demon or whatever. So there's still stuff going on. It's not over with yet.
Yeah.
All right, and so almost done here. Just got a few more Haishiras and then Tengen's wives. Tengen, know what? Tengen's wives. All S tier.
No, in beauty, in beauty.
I'm just playing.
In character, I want to say.
Okay, but for real though, if I had to rank them all evenly, well, not evenly, I'll put. I'm going here for Makio, A.
Okay.
Hinatsuru, at least a B, and then Suma, at least a B.
Interesting. Okay. I actually had that reversed.
You had this reversed?
Hinatsuru I had at A, and the other two were at B for me. And with the last one, I kind of almost dipping into C because she didn't really do too much. But
okay, well, talk me into Hinatsuru.
So Hinatsuru,
you know what she did? A, she did throw that blade, barrage of blades at our boy Gyutaro.
Yeah, so that's 1. 2, she was the one technically in the most danger because she was the girl that was taken captive. Yeah, taken captive, and she was doing like the most reconnaissance. Like she was getting all up in Daki's face. Like that was like her whole thing. And also she seemed to be like the most like on it, at least with her shit. Like she was the one that first like suggested people evacuating people and other stuff and other things like that. So I just feel like Hinatsuru really stood out in terms of like a support character, at least in that arc. So I'd probably give her like an A or a B. The other the blonde one's name is Makia. I think is more so a B, simply because she didn't just play as much a dynamic role as Hinatsuru.
Oh, that's waifu number 1 though. That's A.
I mean, I like her. I like her personality. It's like the stuff like that. But I just feel like in terms of the stuff in the show, I feel like Hinatsuru stood out a little bit more than her. But that's just me. And then with Suma, she's
hilarious though.
She's funny. She is funny. But I think that's the only thing that really is of note about her, and that's why I was arguing. That's why to me she's probably fit more so in C. But that's just we
can put her in C. We can put her in C. So yeah, once again for all the only. So Suma, these are Tengen's wives. Putting Suma C. Makio, that's the one with the blind highlights. I'm putting her in A because that's waifu number 1. And then Hinatsuru, I believe that's how you pronounce that. Hinatsuru.
Yeah.
Our boy McMillian got her at A. I'm assuming that's his waifu number 1 too.
Out of Tengen's wise, probably, yeah.
he tried to put in all the plot in there and stuff like
that. It is a plot.
No.
It's a plot. It's
waifu number 1.
Look at
Makio.
Look at me, gentlemen. It's the plot and it's the plot. All right.
I'm done. You know what? I'm not gonna let you drag Suma down to C. I'm not. Just gonna put her at B. Just gonna leave her at B.
we are men here. I guess that's fair.
Oh man, and then so last but not least, we got 5 Hashira left, and these are most notably, I think, our most notable Hashiras besides Rengoku that we got so far. Gyu, the first Hashira that we saw in the series.
He is.
Let's slap him in A for right now.
Okay.
I haven't seen much about him. Maybe later on this season I might bump him up to S depending on what he does. But for right now, solely off just what I've seen, he's the silent, cool side character type, almost like a Sasuke type character, if you will. And so I'll give him an A.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as far as where he is right now. Gyu is my personal favorite Hashira. And his growth is actually really good. So later on, you might actually want to put him S tier because to me, he's personally just S. But I think where he is, A is very fair.
Okay.
Where he is right now.
And then our boy Tengen here, no objections to them just slapping him in S, right?
I honestly, at first I was like, but thinking about it, I do think Tengen probably deserves an S tier as a character. He's very dynamic. He's very, whole thing is flashy. So I mean, I don't even necessarily have to say the dynamic part, but he's a good, solid character because he's a character that comes off one way, but as you peel the layers back, you see that he's actually he's more so very caring, kind type of person. He's just very direct with his approach of stuff. Other than the fact he almost kidnapped a girl and then took her to fight demons. But
when did that happen? Who we talking about? Oh, no. Tengen, yeah. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he was about to kidnap that Kano. He was without remorse too.
Yeah, so I mean, that I guess that drops some points in his caring side, but
do we drop him down for A for trying to be a wife, a female stealer, woman stealer?
Maybe
woman
I don't know.
If you will.
I don't know. Maybe that might drop him. But I think he's a very solid character, and I like. And as stated before, besides Rengoku, he's the only other person we've seen really go. I wouldn't say toe to toe by himself, but really give a Upper Moon a run for their money, and also he took our 3 main characters under their wing and helped them.
That he did. So that he did. That indeed he did.
Yeah, I guess for that reason alone, maybe he deserves it. Should bump him from A to S. So yeah.
All right, 3 characters left, everybody. Moving on next to the poison Hashira here, Shinobu. Shinobu. She tried to kill Gyu. She tried to kill Nezuko. And she only took in our boys in the butterfly mission out of pity. And really because they told them to bring them back, the crows.
Well, it was technically after the meeting with the leader that she really started to take interest in them. I personally feel like Shinobu's an A, but that might be because of my manga knowledge.
Once again, if you want to pull on some of that manga knowledge to make your case.
She's a pretty cool character. I like her backstory, especially the whole aspect with her and her sister taking in Kano, raising her, and then her providing a place for healers in the Demon Slayer Corps to be as rather than just soldiers. You know what I'm saying? Because technically, those girls that she has in her care were at least at one point demon slayers themselves, but realized that they weren't fully cut out for the job, and so now they take care of other demon slayers. And I feel like that's a pretty cool aspect about her character, and especially the fact that she herself is not strong enough to decapitate a demon, but she has figured out a way around that and created poisons that can kill them.
That can kill them, which is even crazy.
So I gotta give her props.
Okay, all right. And then our last two characters here, everybody, are two Hashiras that are being featured now currently during season 3. Starting off with Muchiro, the Mist Hashira. He's cool as fuck to me right now. Right now, he's a B for me. It probably is good bump. He has potential to go up to A and S depending on how the season ends. But definitely, right now, he's a B. But what do you got to say for him?
I agree. I would agree with the B for Muchiro. He's a very interesting character. Also, like for the simple fact of like he's the youngest Hashira there's ever been, and which also just kind of feel like speaks to his skill and he's a genius, but he's also very much kind of like a nonchalant asshole. Like if you're not talking about what he wants you to talk about, you get the fuck out of his way like real fast. He's very no nonsense, which is which is kind of funny. But I do like his characters. I would probably put him in a B as well.
Okay. And then last but not least, we say the best for last, everybody. We love Hashira, Mitsuru, and then once again, at least a B right now. Fan service isn't gonna bump her up right now. She's a Hashira. You gotta do more than just fan service. So once again, just like Muchiro for me, she could potentially go up to ARS, just depending on how the seasons go. But I'll let you have input on this one. What you think for Mitsuru?
I'd agree. Right now, very solid B tier pick. We don't know too much about her other than she's very caring. Our whole stick is love, which I feel like could probably be annoying for some people, which could obviously like maybe knock her down to some other rankings. But as far as like I'm concerned, she's a pretty interesting character, and even though technically I know more of her story, if I was just watching this anime the first time, I'd be interested. I would be interested to know more about Mitsuru and like as she develops, like what's her whole deal. So I think for that, I'd probably give her a B.
Okay. All right. Once again, like I said, not letting fan service
went out.
Just do that pick solely because she's a Hashira.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not gonna, we include that in the rating, of course, but it doesn't have the, high distinction because she's a Hashira. So you gotta do more than just offer fan service because you're a Hashira. So right now, B.
Mm-hmm.
And this is our tier list. Probably gonna screenshot it, maybe post this on social media or something. I don't know how we want to do this just yet, but this is the full completed tier list. Look at it in all its glory right now. And also, once again, this is only just notable characters from season 1 through season 3. This isn't just every character from Demon Slayer.
Yeah, we'd be here.
Just the notable characters only from season 1 through 3.
We'd be here for a while. I mean, we already technically we're at 1 hour and 30. And due to the thing, so we're about to cut this up. But yeah, I think we did. I think it's pretty solid in my opinion. But
I think this is a solid list. Before we wrap it up, any objections to anybody on the list? You think there should be anybody higher or lower on the list currently?
No, I think based on what we've seen so far, I'd agree with these placements.
Okay. All right, and then I also, before we wrap it, I guess we'll just say we only got 4 S-tier characters. Then they went to Muzen, Rengoku, Akaza, and Tengen. Those are your 4 S-tier characters for Demon Slayer season 1 through 3 as of right now.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this is more characters are subject to go up there as the seasons go along. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then, of course, some characters could fall, depending on how the seasons go along.
That is true as well.
We'll just have to wait and see. So definitely let us know down below in the comments what you guys think of our Demon Slayer character season 1 through 3 tier list here. And with all that being said, McMillian, why don't you go ahead and take us on out of here?
Yep, no problem. Before I do get into our standard outro, no spoilers. If you don't like the tier list because it doesn't count manga stuff, just gonna say that right now. Before we post this somewhere and start spoiling Ace, we're not gonna do that. All right?
Even though we made it clear at the beginning, we want to make it clear here again. We're only judging and ranking these solely upon things they've done so far in the anime.
Yeah.
Not what they've done in the manga. Just solely right now on what they've done in anime.
Yeah, we may redo this when season.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna revisit this like next season, maybe either mid season or the end of next season. No, we'll keep the same template and we'll basically start from this template and be like, all right, who do we think should move up or go down? And then with the new characters that get introduced, we'll just add them to the tier list.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know what you guys thought. But as always, guys, appreciate you for watching this last listen. And if you want to stay up to date on all things about the council, consider following us on our social media, which is at Gurren Otakus on Twitter and at Gurren Otaku Council on everything else. As always, guys, if you want, also, if you would be so kind, consider following us on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Please let us know what you thought about the episode, as well as sharing us on the audio only platforms. Helps us grow, as well as helps you introduce your friends to some really cool anime content. As always, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this season of anime. I think we got a lot of really good shows right now. So keep your eyes out there for more than just Demon Slayer. But
yes,
with all things, this is Gurren Otaku Council saying meeting adjourned. Bye, everyone.